Oh man. Here we go again. It's windy outside. And it's windy in my soul. It's a lot of self-hate today. Right. Back into it, I suppose. Hope we're doing good today because this is about to get sad. We're about to be upset again. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited to be sad again. Here we go again. These lights are weird. They're just floating. Why have I never noticed that? Okay. Oh, creaky. So is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on.
Kidding. I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? Yeah, she great. She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. And she is not happy about it. I told him I don't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you drag a girl around. Terrible, you're terrible. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle on to the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. I'm Mondo.
Hey, come on.
Fucking Toko, man. What's got us so worked up? Sup? You're the worst. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. Celeste. There's something odd about Toko's behaviour. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. No, not Celeste again. Your hair is in my way. I don't care. Your hair's in my way. Let's get her legs. I guess I wasn't much help at all on this one. Right, Toko. Yeah, I get it. Before me.
How very
Miss
sad.
Fujisaki. I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe. I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails. Right, bro? You ready? We doing this?
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual. I see you back there. Can't hide from me, Kyoko.
Shall we go?
Shall we begin? Is that what you had to say? After how hard it was to find you then? Fine. Let's get this done. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. God, it looks so weird as people start dying off. It's just so empty. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? I can't remember what it looked like last time. Oh, I shouldn't leave such big gaps between seeing these now, because I can't remember what it looked like. Bugger. Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, good. You're raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
thrills, chills,
Everyone,
kills.
please find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defence, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. You drama boy. I love that I'm saving this in one slot, praying that it doesn't corrupt itself. Have we got any more skills? I think we do. I think I got one from Chihiro. Algorithm. Increases the speed of memorising a statement. Affected during non-stop debate. Sure. Have I got anything else? Don't think I did. I've already got Sayaka's and Chihiro's. I think we're good. I know people usually look at the evidence at the end sometimes, and it's like, well, I know what happens anyway, so I'm going to be fine. I tend to remember most of the answers.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Okay.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
I love his voice so much. Imagine going to court and hearing a voice like that. You would not be able to handle yourself. First we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. I love that most of the time it's only been giving me one, but that's because we're still quite at the beginning.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yeah?
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Nope.
Interesting.
Fuck.
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
You
Poor Chihiro.
No, didn't mean to do that, sorry. That was me getting angry. Yeah, I know.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
What was it again to speed things
It
up?
appears it was a head wound.
Can't remember.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used
There it is.
what kind of blunt instrument?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Yo.
No, that's wrong.
I have to adjust myself again.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
The scene of the crime.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
Oh, I love you. That's so attractive.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
Love me a woman that can look straight at a wound and just be completely unaffected.
You looked
Yeah.
at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
No, it's not. It's attractive.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. How about that? How about you just stop? Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Yes, sure, let's hear about it. Tell me more. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Oh, not these. I forgot about these. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's always a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual mark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Okay. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. I think I'm on kind. I'm in the middle one, kind. In which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. I can tell you what though, by the time I get to the second game, then we'll be on chill mode. Because I know it. The second game, there's so much more to deal with and I just can't cope with that. Good luck and have fun. Okay. So, right click to shoot some stuff.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so speaking of Genocide Jack,
What was that?
I don't know who that is.
How dare you? How dare you? No, I'm
The
kind of
culprit
offended.
is Genocide. Case closed, as far as...
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on.
Come on, Hina, say it.
There's just no proof for it.
Oh man,
Hey, so
I'm gonna kill
speaking of
myself.
Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is.
That part of my brain that just can't coordinate things. It's so angry.
The culprit is Genocide. Case closed.
But that's
Why? What makes it impossible?
well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so speaking of genocide, I don't know who that is.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. Case closed, as far as I...
But
Shit,
that's
the screen's
impossible.
about to go off.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
If you didn't think
might
I was
know
bad at
one
video
reason
games,
he could
you
be
now know.
involved.
You're now heavily aware of my inability. What was that? I'm so disappointed in myself.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
I don't know, Mondo. When was the last time you were in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
No.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail.
Can't believe we're enabling Byakuya.
According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Booblust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Do I have to? The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, has to do with the positioning of the body.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case,
Itchy
the
nose.
killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of.
That it's you. That you
It's
did it.
because the culprit in this case
No.
is the real Genocide Jack.
This trial's insane.
No
This
fucking
game is
way.
insane.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
It's Toko. No beating around the bush, man.
What?
That's so rude.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
That's so rude. Can't believe you just outed her.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Oh yeah, I suppose they kept it schizo, didn't they? I mean, it's technically quite incorrect, but they never changed it, so they should have just
Is it
put
because
DID.
Genocide Jack has a split personality?
They should have just put DID instead.
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, which isn't same as calling someone a schizo.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
Because she's fucking insane. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behaviour.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
She just went insane. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top and an inning, a top inning and a bottom. I see a truth and a well of lies.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
I mean, he hit it quite right, the description there, to be honest.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
You're just attacking her.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
Because he's a dickhead.
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
I mean, you literally... She trusted you, man. She trusted you, and you're a terrible human being.
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
I feel so bad for her.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
I feel horrible for this girl.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic
You can
little
hear
story.
dogs.
I didn't ask you
I'm
to.
sorry.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
Couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
I bet you did.
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but...
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
Oh, shut up, man. Oh, stop. I've had enough. It's only the second chapter and I still want you to shut up, Yahya.
I hate you.
Thank you.
Well, The opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
Honey, I wish this trial was only 15 minutes, but it's not.
The person you don't mean.
I know. He's so annoying. Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Oh god, she's actually one of my favourite characters. What a design.
What the heck?
Yeah, I'd run if I were you, man.
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Oh.
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Oh, that's a dumb question.
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
She's so intense.
It's fine.
Like they say,
We'll be
sound in
fine.
murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie.
Keep saying
Behind
this.
every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
I love her enthusiasm. I think that's it. It's just the enthusiasm she speaks with.
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
Sure.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
Yeah.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
And she's just not a liar either. You can't look at someone like that and go, she's lying. It's just the way she speaks, it's impossible for her to lie like that.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
I believe her. I always believe her.
Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
I always believe the crazy ones. maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all this. God. Status of the dead body. Is this the one where he says textbook?
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
What is this aim? What is it? Like, it was close
Give it
enough.
up. You killed her.
It was close enough. I should be playing this game on general.
Kill anyone.
You say that, but
Perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
There you go.
No, that's wrong.
Maybe it was like in the old translation it said textbook.
Are the
I can't
methods
remember.
of
Maybe
murder
it's the
really
anime.
exactly
I
the
don't know.
same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense.
Thank you, Mako.
There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. I got it!
It's the
For one,
scissors.
the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case
gotta
file,
hurt, man.
they
It's
were
gotta
all
hurt.
apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
Oh, it's got to be a slow death, man.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
They're all men.
That's right.
These
In
got
my
balls.
recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Or is it still not the men bit?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Oh, it's about the cable bit. I'm here. Let's see what's going on. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed with their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
Scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
Does she have an Etsy?
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
There's 3.
Matt, are you referring to me?
Goes good old double cheeseburger and fries, isn't he? Or is it a triple cheeseburger? I don't know, man.
Listen
actually one more difference!
Yeah, these games are great. They're incredible.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
There's a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is, I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro, because Chihiro was a girl.
Is
Wink.
it because Chihiro was a girl?
Wink.
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
I'm not reading these names again. I did this last time. Yes, I get it, they're all men.
They were all guys?
Yeah, you watch yourself.
Right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it.
Yeah, I do know how this game ends. I know everything from this game, Danganronpa 2, another episode, and then the animes. But I actually have no idea what happens in V3. That's the only one I'm going into blind is V3, and it's going to be insane.
It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly cur!
You tell him.
Lowly? Cur?
Yeah, you tell him.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
Yeah, you get to follow me, knowing the story but struggling to play it anyway. Like, I'm so bad at games, but it's funny. And I hope that's what people get to enjoy about that, is that it's ridiculously hard to play it for me. And I'm going to be playing on gentle when I play the second game.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
One icon.
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime!
You always gotta be ready. Gotta be prepared to do a murder.
Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
I'm afraid so.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
There is one person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. I know who. It's this bitch. Look at this.
Here's my answer.
I forgot about Kiyotaka.
Byakuya.
Yeah, there's so many characters where I'm like,
isn't it?
there's so many characters where I'm like, oh my god, I forgot you were here for a second. And then you're like, he's great. But where did you come from?
You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records.
I thought I was the only one who didn't know what happened in V3. Oh, now this is a good one.
Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Yeah, you bitch.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was
He's a douchebag, that's why.
because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now,
It's about when I met you. When I first saw your face, you looked kind of sus. That was when.
the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And literally all the time before that. In the locker rooms, they're suspicious, very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Suspicious. Seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Yeah, he's too smart to use a dumbbell, but he's not too smart to not pin it on the real Genocide Jack. This bitch. I just hate this man.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
You tell him.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element, would you like to hear more? Truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. Oh, I have to start doing this shit. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorise a different weak spot and use that to make the case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refusing anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Please get a better mouse, this is getting really dodgy on me. Fine. So I have to hold down the left mouse button.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it!
You dirty bitch.
That's a natural reaction for any guy! The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
Don't know if I'm about to do this the wrong way round. Probably. It doesn't make sense how we could have known before we even found it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird.
Oh, I've done it the wrong way round. That's it.
Shoot!
I know when I've done things wrong. I use my brain sometimes.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found his body.
Okay.
But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room, that's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that.
Yeah, you tell.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. He doesn't care. You're right. It's Byakuya. Well, I'm cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with it.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
Let me at him. Let me at him.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The difference between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be? The death clam.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
Gotcha, bitch. I have nothing much to say this time, to be honest.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
You tell him.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion
I
is
need to
something
stop.
like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's
Mondo.
it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
Mondo, shut up.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
I don't. I can't.
Kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something
I
like this
couldn't
to
even
win.
figure that out.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
No. This is the second one with Chihiro and all that.
I know, but still.
Oh, sad feelings, yeah. You should have. We were crying in the last couple streams. It's so hard to deal with.
There's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime.
Chihiro being dead is really sad. It's hard to cope with.
Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. What?
I got it!
I wasn't paying much
You
attention.
say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right?
He is an edgy rich boy, and it's... He's got to stop. He's got to stop being a bitch, because, you know, I'm going to throw hands at some point. I'm going to throw hands.
But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing.
Oh, stop. How disappointing. Oh, God. Just die.
What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
I don't want to listen to him.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Oh.
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else.
This is a true letdown. Fuck off, man.
Along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder
That's
scene?
it. Get down, bitch. Oh, are you agreeing with each other that Celeste is the best character in the game? In this game, I'd say she's like 3 on my list. 'Cause I'm obsessed with Kyoko. I know it's probably like, oh, everyone loves Kyoko, but I love Kyoko.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? Break this man. When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya had been so confident up till now. Maybe Byakuya never even realised that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission.
Is this the guy
What do
you're
you mean
talking
she was
about?
killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that switched between the boys and the girls' locker room. Where's your stain gone? No? Are we talking about the posters? But there's many things that switched. We can't just... Okay.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
Yeah. It is.
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Big boob supermodel. How long do you think it took to get that line right?
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
How long have you stared at that poster?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
Tornado. These posters. Oh, you're from Spain. That's awesome. English is quite well. Like it's dumb, but it's fucking hilarious.
Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're
now-
referring to my protein
Now we're
coffee,
talking about
aren't
the
you?
stain.
Protein coffee?
Shut the fuck
While
up.
I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet.
Sexism isn't cool, Makoto. Jesus Christ.
But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
It's not the stain that was scrubbed away. It was moved. Can I do this now?
I
Yay.
got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
I don't think you're a misogynist if you keep hearing grills instead of girls. I think that just means you're amazing.
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
I wish I could hear grills instead of girls.
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
It's a lot of fucking effort.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
To protect your hero.
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
To protect your hero.
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Did you actually? Oh no. Well, I'm here to play this nice and slowly for you. The only time I skip something is because it's an accident, because I tap the mouse. It's like, oh no, I've skipped something. What's going on?
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Throwing shade.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Yeah. I mean, it's Hiro. It's quite troubling if he knows something.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's
Oh, yeah, I know. Junko's portrait. Sad, sad, sad.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Shut the fuck up. Stop talking.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook! The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring!
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Yeah, a lot of people try to imitate his voice. He's a special voice boy. You gotta leave him alone. That's territory I don't go into. I wouldn't even try. It'd just damage me.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is
He's
just
special.
wrong?
Not just his voice. He's a very special boy.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Shut up. Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the one who did it. Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second.
Let my girl just come in here a second. She's gonna solve this whole thing for you right now.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the?
Oh.
You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got
Oi.
to say?
Oi! How dare you? Don't talk to her like that. You respect Kyoko. You leave her alone. Jeez, Mondo. What the fuck?
There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What? What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
It happens quite a lot. I do get quite violent about Kyoko. Because the thing is, I've known about this game for God knows how long actually. Probably 6-7 years. And obviously it's like 10 years old now, which is insane. And it was like back in the days where it was only I think it was just like a fan translation. And Kyoko was like my favourite character through the entire thing. And so I'm like, I feel like I can't let her down. It wasn't popular here either. It wasn't popular like anywhere. I just like came across it one day and it was this whole new concept to me. And my favourite colour was purple back then, so it was like, well, this is an easy decision to make. Yeah, I got mine in like a bundle, and I was like, I now officially have to play all these games. Oh, that's a shame. I haven't done anything with the third one, like at all. I have no idea what happens. It's like the only one that I've just... It's like it came at a point where it's like I was way too busy for the third game. So I just never looked at it, and it's quite sad because I know people love the third game. Yeah.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, they do seem to love him. Like, I'm just like, what is going on? That character must be good, and if it's not that good, I'm gonna be shocked. I need to know what they love about him. Yeah, good or edgy. That's a point.
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Oh, I love Aoi as well. I love them all so much. Well, like, Byakuya. So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was the scene of the crime.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying
No,
to do, Missy?
every time I see this, I'm just like, look, get this off my screen. Can we like censor that entire bit so I do not have to see this precious child like this?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Yeah, that's the thing about Sayaka, the first one. She was like mega snake. She was just using Makoto, but Chihiro just wanted to be strong, and I felt really bad.
Examine her carefully?
Shut up.
Using our hands? No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
Oh, don't worry. I know everything that happens.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
I know. It's upsetting. It's gonna be hard to finish this trial.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
Thank you, Sakura. Stepping up for everyone. You're always doing everything for everyone, Sakura. You're amazing.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
This is not the time.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Jill? Yeah. Yeah, it is Genocide Jack, but she was like more like Genocide Jill, you know?
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse me.
Progressive murderer. I'm a woman and I'd like to be respected as such in my field of killing people. Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this?
Yeah, Kyoko always gets the entire body.
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible. This girl is...
He's got a penis.
Is what?
Is a boy.
I didn't know. He's got penis.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
And he's about to freak out.
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
It is very true.
Hero was a guy?
Yeah. Chihiro was a guy. But I respect whatever
you guys
pronouns.
didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat.
Oh, you've missed the sauna scene. That was that's got to be like the stream before the last one. I was I was crying because it made me laugh too much.
Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Oh my god, that's the next one, isn't it, as well? Oh.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Don't say that ever again.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Shut up.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Straps he has over his chest. That's exactly what that is. Oh my god, never seeing this the same ever again. You're gonna make me think about Attack on Titan every time I see it now.
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt.
Dumb.
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Just, I need him to stop talking right now.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Like a fucking psychopath. Like, who does that? Who goes, oh, there's a corpse, I'm gonna move it. There's a corpse that I didn't make. I'm going to ruin the crime scene.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
It's alright, Biaki, you can swear.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
I think they very much matter, Biaki.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
No.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Yes.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But Byakuya didn't do it. Then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. No, this isn't a blind playthrough. I'm afraid. The only game that I have nothing to know about is the V3 game, so if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to find it here because this game has taken up too much of my life. Celeste's code. Come on then.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
What, another episode?
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
No, that's wrong.
That was a close one.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
If you're talking about the another episode, was it like Ultra Despair Girls or something? Then I haven't personally played it. I've watched other people play it, so I know what happens. But I'm bad at any kind of shooter game, so I haven't actually played it.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
I better get going, I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
Yeah, Makoto, gee.
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
I mean, I do.
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
She's just working her psychology, man. Let her at
As
it.
was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
I love how she does this. Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. She tricking him.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is...
Come on.
The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Gotcha.
No, that's wrong.
Nobody said about that.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assume he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Bitch.
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
During the murder.
That can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Please use the right name, Jill.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did.
Of course you did.
Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it?
You should be proud, Celeste.
Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
I don't doubt that you're smart, babe.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him, no. No?
There was a certain maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Smart, baby.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to Chihiro.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not.
They're hard to break.
They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high
Oh, sorry.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, 'cause I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh?
Celsius or Fahrenheit? Or Kelvin? If that's in Kelvin, honey, that's kind of cold.
It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
Good for you, man.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I do.
I might know someone who did.
The saucy sauna scene.
Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Oh, honey. All their clothes into the sauna. It was... Is he this way? Yes.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo
It's
and
true.
Tonga had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Ooh.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Oh, fuck.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
If I can disprove that, then that'll show the hand Mondo actually has must be...
Let's
Yeah.
test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's then that proves that what Makoto said.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, it don't.
No, that's wrong.
Because they ain't yours. It's Leon's.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own.
Yeah.
After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
Yes.
But doesn't that violate the school
Correct.
regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
No.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
Valid. That is valid.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong!
Mondo.
You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Here we go. Closing argument. Oh my god. Right. What have I got? I'm not sure. Taking that down. Is that that? This motherfucker. Sauna.
Here's exactly what happened.
That should be right.
First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag.
Oh.
That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room.
Just trying to be strong.
But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Ah. Oops. Right this way. And then this one, right?
Here's exactly what happened. With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he.
There we go.
Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned.
Oh man. Chihiro.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
And then this douchebag came in and just
that could have been the end of
really
things,
fucked it.
But no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Just don't get why someone would do this. It's just wrong, isn't it?
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Iwata?
Wait. No. This can't be right.
Unfortunately, it is. Someone has to take the blame.
Yeah. Where's your evidence?
You've heard my evidence.
You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo is the killer that already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. Once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element to the bullet time battles. That's not fair, I'm already bad at those. Let's talk about favor time and nega time. No. If you press the space key, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. Oh, okay, so that's actually what I need, because I can't hit that rhythm. So you can push RMB, LMB, RMB, LMB, how much you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course it wouldn't be fair if only you got to access the special time, right? So we also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use, and that's when I die. If the opponent uses nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker would disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. If your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use nega time. Unfortunately, I'm only on kind, so... Good luck and have fun. Oh.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False.
No.
Show me some evidence.
Thank you.
I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False.
How dare you?
Corrupt.
Oh.
Show me some evidence.
Oh.
Should prove it.
I died last time. Man.
Thinking so far is right.
Didn't even use fever time. Snaps for me. Snaps for me.
Mondo must have replaced his broken
Yes.
handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Thank you, Mondo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hon. You didn't gotta do
I
it.
did it. I killed him.
You didn't have to. Hey, 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 B. I'm so close. I'm gonna do it one day. One day. How many coins am I gonna get? 83.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Sucks, man. Sucks.
What?
This time, it looks like you got it right. Again. It is so that Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he could kill someone.
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
It looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. No, I wouldn't do that. That'd take away from the stream. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. Weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armour would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiralling into despair.
What?
And yet,
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it'd be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Oh. It sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honour would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support could he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Is exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killing the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trust each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
That's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing secrets and memories exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know. Even if it meant killing someone. It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. While on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, the secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Oh, honey. He didn't mean to. I believe it was specifically an accident. But the only reason he had to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got to be on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown as the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy, but when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why
I just...
I've got to get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. Kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... Oh, hon. That's not your fault, though. That was his own decision. He threw himself in front of you. That's not your fault. Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team, you and me, put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
Strong. Strong, 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 strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realised, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. And at that point it was clear I'd have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why I wonder. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach, and it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I've been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're just saying I should just say it?
What? What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weaknesses, to overcome it. It was the kind of strength I'd never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
Stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand. I was just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey.
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him. You see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead and say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
I'll say it as many times as I want, but... it's what I want to say, but... unfortunately, I can't do that right now, because it's time for punishing. It's fast approaching. Punishing.
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
This is fucked up, man. This is fucked up. I'm sorry, Mondo, but it sucks because they're both great characters that I feel bad for. Fucking Mondo butter, man. I can't believe it's not butter. I guess I can believe it is butter, I suppose. It's a better way to go around. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives is taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Shimaru. Man. Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls. We were each forced to realise once again. But he, of course he had to. Disappointment. This is the end of the game. I've had enough. You need to get out. Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game. One of our friends is dead. Do you realise that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that
However,
I just don't understand why. Why'd you go out your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death that chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to
While
be
I
done.
don't particularly care. Please, continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. I mean, you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool, he didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed, but if that had been at the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up.
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create a fake murder scene. But damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you'd have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into mine. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes. We're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
I'm up next. You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean? Mean?
What the
Mean, mean.
Damn it!
Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every stupid little thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh,
So the noble
how
son of a noble family.
exciting.
Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled
So
up.
cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mod for you. He couldn't kill someone if he wanted to. He's a little pussy. No chance. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. Hi, my favourite letter is X. Hope you're doing well, man. Or woman, or whatever. It's a shame that you're busy, but it's nice to see you again. I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear of despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
I really don't want to see more murders, to be honest, Monokuma. I'm fine. There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh, my, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
God. It's weird, they all die off quite quick. It's a horrible feeling. Oh, I got his coat. Yeah, let's save it. Got the achievement 2 of a kind. Sniff, sniff.
I know I shouldn't cry, but I've had enough.
Oh, honey.
I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon. It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to.
Honey. Donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Glazed donuts, twisty donuts, jelly donuts, cream-filled donut holes, malasadas.
Okay.
Oh God of donuts, I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for breaking the nighttime rule. But right now, for me, donuts are absolutely necessary. Huh?
Huh?
What's that sound? It sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse.
But
I'm super scared, but is someone there? Yeah, you gotta scream at something like that, don't you? Chapter 3. A Next Generation Legend, Stand Tall, Galactic Hero. The morning after the conclusion, the second class trial. But I've got to leave it there. Because it's a whole different section. And this looks like a tomorrow job for me. Going on to chapter 3. We're going to have some real fun. Always save twice. But yeah, I mean, it has been a long one. It's been a good one. A sad time. But honestly, it's been so fun. It's been so fun. I love it every time I've got someone in the chat, whether it's one person or like 3 people. It's always fun because all of you you are such a laugh. It's incredible. And I can't thank any of you enough. Like, right. As usual, like my new followers. So, thank you H4R1B24, 6 days ago for the follow. Thank you My Favourite Letter is Eggs for the follow. Thank you Ari Mitsuri, 2 hours ago for the follow. User EXEJPEG, thank you. Tatiana, or if that's how you say your name, thank you. Samurai Black and my CW8T. There's so many people here now, like compared to when this started. Is like, it's fun just having anyone here. But yeah, thank you everyone so much. I will see you probably tomorrow. I will update on my Twitter, which is connected to my Twitch. But if not, if you can't see it, it's at MumlyMiss with 3 S's at the end because the original one was taken. And wow, it's been a good one. Have a good day, guys.